Welcome back, everybody. Derrick Sue, your East Oakland advocate. Well, I want to talk about what I did this past weekend, and it was a very interesting unconference. And the conference was called Oakland City Camp. And what that is, I'll explain it in just a moment. But it was an all-day event, started at 9 o'clock. Uh, People were asked to arrive around 8:30, and it lasted to 5:30. And then after the 5:30 session closed at City Hall, uh, then there was an after party. So I didn't stay for the after party because I have a lot of responsibilities back here at the camp. But anyway, um, City Camp is put on by the officials of the city of Oakland, and also a group that sponsors this is Open Oakland. And what this is about, this gives an opportunity to regular residents, businesses, concerned citizens, and residents of Oakland to bring ideas to the city for implementation or consideration. And um, there were a lot of really good topics that I'll get into in just a moment. This was put out for on Eventbrite back a little more than a month ago, and I signed up for it. And we had over 200 people sign up for this, and in attendance there was approximately 200 people at the event. And these are just ordinary citizens uh, bringing forward ideas for consideration. So the event opened up with Daniel Hamilton. He's the Oakland Resilience Officer. And so he spoke about how City Camp works. And what's interesting, a lot of you may not know about City Camp. I certainly didn't. Uh, and the last City Camp unconference was back in 2018, is what Daniel Hamilton mentioned. And so that was a long time ago. And they thought about, they brought it back and to bring in new ideas on how to move the city forward, and what are topics that are of big concern to you, the Oakland residents. So anyway, he was talking about how the city of Oakland is going to be reinvesting into Lincoln Square Park, specifically the building, because it has become an important and integral part of daily life in the Oakland Chinatown and the surrounding areas. And it brings a lot of programs to the community. And so the city of Oakland has decided to invest in making the building 3 times bigger than what it currently is. And so that building is a multi-use building. It's a municipal space. And so let's see. Uh, then some of the challenges that Mr. Hamilton mentioned: low housing affordability. That's a big one on everybody's list. And I was ready to speak on that, but I didn't. And I'll tell you why. Because this forum, while it may get the attention of some city officials, it is not. It is not the forum for getting housing moving forward. And how we're doing that is I'm using and attending conferences and meetings with our Alameda County Board of Supervisors, the BOS, and working at trying to distribute Measure W funding. Measure W funding, as of a couple of weeks ago, what was in the fund for homeless housing, acquiring property, and creating buildings, building the buildings. We had $960 million already collected in sales tax revenue since 2021. And this Measure W was approved back in 2020. So since then, 0.5% or 0.5 cent tax was added to everything for all sales in Alameda County. That 0.5 cent has now accumulated to a point of $960 million. And the next step that the Board of Supervisors must do is create the distribution board. And in Measure W specifically requires a homeless person, a homeless representative, to be on that board as part of the distribution, to approve any distributions or to deny distribution. And right now, there are over 191 different housing projects that are being proposed to the Board of Supervisors. So that's a lot of groups vying for this very important money. And the money is going to continue until 2030. It was a 10-year tax, and that's the life of it. And it was predicted and estimated to raise $1.5 billion with a B dollars without having real serious raise in taxes or anything really outrageous. But now that the money is there and all the court challenges have been taken care of, it's now time for the distribution. And now we have to decide on what projects to move forward. And so one of the biggest projects that I'm working on is 30 to 50 acres of new housing. And that's just here in East Oakland. And I have more plans for West Oakland and throughout Oakland. But when I was at the conference, I brought up one of the most important ones for my area, District 7. And we are a food desert. And you may ask, what is a food desert? Well, there's literally no major grocery chain in District 7. We have to go outside of District 7 in order to shop at a Safeway, a Lucky's, Food Co., Food Max, anything like that, because none of those supermarkets are in East Oakland. So I either have to go to San Leandro to shop. I use Instacart to shop. So there's a lot of reasons why we need to have investment throughout the city of Oakland. But housing is a very important part. And then the next part, like I said, is food. And I specifically spoke on that. And I was the fifth most attended topic. There's a lot of people concerned with the cost of food these days because of the rising prices and then tariffs. There are a lot of tariffs on our foods. If you look at what's coming in from Mexico, I've noticed a lot of our lemons are coming in from Mexico. Our avocados, majority come in from Mexico. So there are a lot of fruits and vegetables that do come from the other side of the border, but now have tariffs on them. So that makes food more expensive. And people are saying, well, yeah, it's good. And they say it's only a 2%, 3% increase in prices, which is a lie. That is a real lie, folks. And here's why I say that. because that 3 to 5% increase is on each individual item. So it's a far more than a 3% across the board. It is taking out of my pocket what I used to pay monthly for groceries was $350. Now I'm up near $800 at times. So, and the prices really fluctuate. So that's a problem for a lot of households, because not many households can actually double their food budget overnight, and that's one of the big problems that we have nationally, food insecurity. And so I talked about how I am using different programs here in East Oakland and partnering with a lot of organizations and even a supermarket, which is Safeway, to work on the food insecurity problem, but also um, we've helped reduce petty crimes because people don't have to go and steal food now, and food is available here pretty readily and in a pretty good volume. So we're able to feed a lot of people. But moving on, some of the other things that Mr. Hamilton talked about: 4 pillars of abundance, uh, the base resilience, and so that the 4 pillars of abundance: number one, community health; number two, regenerative infrastructure, which is talking about solar, uh, and also using uh, uh, wind power and many other different types of sources to generate electricity without huge costs. Healthy people is number three, the fourth pillar, and number four, culture and social fabric, which is the museums, the libraries, things like that. Then principles of abundance in practice: redundancy and resilience. And that's one of the things that Oakland doesn't have. And it was a topic on Saturday, and that was disaster preparedness. Then here we just yesterday had a big earthquake early in the morning, and that and nobody was prepared. And literally, your city, the city of Oakland, nor Alameda County are prepared for a major disaster. And so you would have to be completely independent and prepared for uh, like firestorms in the Oakland Hills, earthquakes where in the event of an earthquake, let me give you an example, because this actually happened back in 1989 with the Loma Prieta earthquake, and in my household, which affected all of the city of Alameda across the water channel here. And I was living in one of the more wealthy areas of Alameda, named Harbor Bay Isle. I was HOA president in Baywood Village, which is the townhome association sitting right next to the little shopping plaza there out in Harbor Bay Isle. And when after the earthquake hit, the damage wasn't too bad for the homes out there, but one of the most important things, there was no electricity for 3 days in Alameda. There was very limited phone usage or availability. Cell phones were the only things that worked, but the reason why they weren't real successful, because if you remember, 1989 cell phones were still in their infancy, and I was one of the few people that had cell phones at the time because of the work that I did. And so we had to be self-sufficient for 3 days, literally 3 days. And what we did with our cul-de-sac, we all All the neighbors got together and we supported each other. We shared food, cooking. We didn't have too big of a water issue because the water was still okay. EB mud, there wasn't any um, intrusion into any of the freshwater lines. So water wasn't an issue, but electricity was. Also, the other thing that was not available, emergency services. So if you're looking to, for police services, fire services, or medical services, you were out of luck for those 3 days. You had to pretty much be your own doctor, your own firefighter, and your own police. And that was pretty scary. And I had a lot of the training and everything already under my belt. I was just months away from actually starting my DoD position, and I was pretty well trained in everything. But some of the things that Oakland finds important in terms of CityCamp, I'm going to name the 15 different discussion groups that were created during CityCamp. And like I said, I was the fifth most attended on my speak. And I did a speak for 1 hour, question and answer session for 20 minutes before breaking up. But anyway, I'm going to show you the schedule in the picture here. So I'm going to jump to that and then I'll be right back. So you see some of the subjects there. I'm just going to go back and read them. The breakout groups, the first four that ranked the highest, because every person was allowed an opportunity to pitch a topic, and we did pitch. I pitched the topic of food insecurity. For myself, I had decided that the housing topic, while it would have been very popular, was not the forum to really talk to anybody, because while I would be able to create a pretty good sized group moving forward to talk to the Board of Supervisors and also the City of Oakland, it was not a type of forum where we would be able to influence Board of Supervisors to move forward with the distribution of funds to create this nearly 2,000 units of deeply affordable housing here in East Oakland, and the proposal for West Oakland is still being put together. But anyway, the breakout groups, number one, Oakland charter reform. There's a lot of folks really upset with the Oakland City Charter, how it operates, and some of the silly things that are on there. So that was one of the topics. Number two, building civic projects faster, because there's a lot of civic projects that take years to move forward and to actually get in place at times. And so there are a lot of folks that would like to see these projects move forward and get funded and on the books. Number three, gamifying the city. So there's a big call for to bring in casinos here in Oakland, and I am in agreement, because those tax dollar revenues would be used to help increase Oakland's general fund, and that would add to the Oakland's tax base. So I agree with that. Number four, disaster preparedness, and that was something that a lot of people were concerned with, because the city of Oakland is not prepared uh, to help in the event of a national or a major disaster, much like the Oakland Hills firestorm that burned for several days before they could get it under control. Earthquakes. Uh, we can't control PG&E, electricity, plus not to mention all of the infrastructure that has to be re-inspected because of the earthquake. The Bay Bridge, a portion of the Bay Bridge collapsed. That Bay Bridge was down for many months. That's what brought the ferry system back. And the ferry system was done and over back in 1967, 68, if I remember right. And they were saying it'll never come back. Well, guess what? Things have a way of working themselves out, and now we have a very vibrant and expanding ferry service throughout the bay. Then number 5, my talk on food insecurity and how I'm addressing it right now, along with the cooperation of Safeway. Then we had people's budget, combine data resources. Number 7, virtual education system for STEM. So that's an interesting topic for the future of Oakland. Then we have number 8, restoration of Malanga Cascalord Center for the Arts, for those that are culture and social fabric things. Then we have number 9, transparency of new budgets and how it is spent to meet those goals. So people are really concerned about the budget, and namely so because Oakland's broke, and Oakland needs to find a way with increasing its income, its taxable income. And that was one of the things that I spoke at, or as part of my mayoral platform. I was speaking on TIF, tax increment financing, and EIFD, enhanced infrastructure funding districts, and how that can really turn Oakland around, resolve the financial crisis that Oakland has, help fund more police officers for the street, and make major changes with this. But yet we just don't seem to have the people with the expertise in the offices that are currently occupied that are even halfway educated on what that is and how it works. And that's why the city of Oakland continues to struggle with its finances. And all of it is easily reversible. We start an entertainment district, which I had proposed all the way back to 2017, a new entertainment district that would bring in millions of dollars into the general fund for the city of Oakland. Then we have number 9, was that not? Number 10, abandoned cars in Oakland and the cleanup and removal. Well, it is very frustrating because you go on 311 app for the city of Oakland, you file your report of abandoned vehicles, stolen vehicles, and everything, and nothing happens. Literally nothing happens for days, weeks, sometimes even months before that vehicle is towed away. And there's a reason, because the resources to remove all of them are out of places to put these vehicles for storage. Because for a while, an illegal contract was produced that allowed Auto Plus Towing, one of the city towing contractors, to use the former ABNI foundry site as a storage for those cars. And the problem that we had with that was a lot of those cars, some of them were burned up, they were leaking fluids, and so that's adding to the problem that's already existing on the ABNI property. And so all of that has been rescinded, and Auto Plus is removing vehicles in huge numbers. In fact, I see some of the cars on a daily basis here because a business that transport cars for the industry is loaded with cars. In fact, they have two trailers in front of me full of recovered cars. And that's the problem that Oakland has. They don't have anywhere to put it. When they do tow them, they have to have a space to put them. And folks are saying, well, what about the RVs and trailers? Well, guess what? Those take special towing vehicles, most of them, or special hitches, connections that a lot of tow service just don't have. And then also the space. Some of these RVs, 30-foot plus, there's just not that kind of space available in the city of Oakland. So while that's a problem, it's also a problem on policing, because the CHP, they recover a lot of cars and then they end up over there at the ABNI, the former ABNI lot at one time. Now they're not. I don't know where they're going now, but it's not the ABNI foundry property. Then the next thing up, number 11, transit data. Because a lot of folks take AC Transit and BART, and AC Transit is probably the absolute worst in terms of their schedule and adhering to their schedule. I know that because I take AC Transit a lot. I have a Clipper card. BART, they're pretty good, but then we've had a lot of issues with the BART system. Then also financially, they're talking about perhaps not even running anymore going into the future. So that's an issue for a lot of folks. Then number 12, ICE rapid response, because here in Oakland we've had ICE going through our city streets, especially West Oakland, downtown Oakland, the courthouses, and so that's an issue. Number 13, OPD policy, in working in cooperation with ICE. We don't, because this is a sanctuary city, so we do not interact with ICE. Then number 13, OPD policy, ICE policy. Again, are we going to be working? No, we're not working with folks. So that these were topics that were not well attended, but they were a concern, and so the speaker on that topic would do a question and answer session, and so I'm not sure how that played out, because I didn't attend the last set. Then we have number 14, Walk Oakland, make more safe. So they're right, that is a concern. There's a lot of robberies and of street violence going on. So we do need to make our streets safer. And then the last one, number 15, workshop for senior healing. And Oakland is aging. Yes, Oakland, the numbers that I remember when I was a homeowner back in the 90s and 2000, Oakland's average homeowner age was in the mid-30s, so to speak. 35 to 38 was pretty much the middle ground where a majority of the folks were homeowners, and that was because of the income. But that does not apply anymore. Oakland's getting older, and we're taxing the services that are for seniors that help them stay independent, living independently, or going into assisted living. So, and that's a big concern because we have to drop the price of housing in order for our younger folks to be able to live in this city. Otherwise, we're going to end up Oakland as a, a city that cannot serve its residents because all the residents are in their retirement age, and that's what's happening right now. So many renters, the young folks, don't have housing stability here in the city of Oakland, and we have to recreate that affordability in order to lower the average age here in the city of Oakland. Because right now we're pushing mid 40s and growing. The city is getting older. It's not getting younger, it's getting older. And that's a problem that has to be resolved. So those were the top 15 breakout discussion groups. I spoke about, like I said, food insecurity and how with what I'm doing behind me, food pantries, and also we have community food pantry pop-ups in East Oakland, West Oakland, and we want to expand that program for those that are food challenged because we know the program works, number one. But how do we fund this? And how I get this is that this is a partnership with Safeway, and how this works. My particular program is reusing food that normally would end up in landfill, meaning that Safeway takes all of the food that they normally would be throwing out in the garbage. These are items that are typically good for a week, 7 days or so, and putting it in the hands of different foundations, 501c3s, to distribute these food products to all the different community pantries. I have one of the food pantries here. I get approximately $5,000 to $6,000 of food donations every week. And having that kind of access and being able to put that kind of food back out into the community for no cost is amazing, and how everybody benefits. Number one, Safeway gets to write this off as a full dollar donation rather than cutting the prices and 50% off and things. They get to donate these products at 100% of their shelf value and write that off from their bottom line. And so rather than doing throwing all the food away, this actually gets into the hands and stomachs of people. So it's important that happens. And Safeway benefits because they get a tax write-off. The receivers like myself, the community food pantries, we get free food to distribute to the community. This helps house and unhoused folks throughout the service area of that community food pantry. And this also helps reduce petty theft crimes in the stores because people aren't stealing food. So that's my particular program. Hope that helps. But folks, if you want to get involved, there's going to be more CityCamp unconferences coming up in the future. Watch for them because the city of Oakland puts out the emailer. Also, it shows up on Eventbrite. So thanks for joining me today. We'll be right back.